Been using the Oura Ring for about 6 months now, and I have a lot of thoughts about it. From tracking my sleep and recovery to helping me understand my stress levels and even syncing it with natural cycles to track my cycle. It has become one of my favorite health tools, one of the best investments of this past year. Today I'm going to be talking about if it is actually worth it, who the Oura Ring is best for, the pros and cons, and how I use it to track my health in my day-to-day life. So first I thought I would take you guys through my experience with the Oura Ring and how I use it from a daily basis perspective. So the first thing I do is I always look at my sleep on the app. When I wake up right in the morning, I tend to just go straight to the sleep to see my sleep score and how I slept and just what it tells me about my sleep. You have total sleep, efficiency, restfulness, REM sleep, deep sleep, latency, which is how long it takes you to fall asleep, and timing. And then it'll give you like a blurb of what you can do better to help your day with your energy levels, or the next night it will tell you like tips on what you can do better. I love that HRV specifically because it tells you how your heart rate affected your sleep. So this will tell you if you have exercised too close to bed, if you ate too close to bed, if you're looking at blue lights too close to bedtime. Like I can just narrow it down to, oh, my heart rate was really high during the night and actually lowered my sleep score because my energy was being put towards digesting food. And I think it's really cool because you can actually optimize your life a little bit better and eat a little earlier, which I've gotten into a better habit of doing, and it's a lot healthier of a habit to get into. I also love the readiness score. This is what you see everybody posting about. It basically just tells you your readiness score for the day, and I don't know what like contributes to this readiness score. I think it's like a well-rounded system and algorithm that Oura has put together, but I just love to try to break records for my readiness score, and I don't know, it just made my habits a lot healthier because I'm like constantly in competition with myself trying to optimize my sleep and my readiness score. Okay, so the next thing that I use is the activity score. I don't use this a ton. I mostly just use it to track my steps, to see a range on where I'm like ranging daily, and to make sure I'm walking enough and standing enough during the day. That's all that really matters to me. It does keep track of your calories, your activity burn, your move every hour, daily goals, training frequency, daily movement, and it does keep track of your workouts. Like it will pop up with workout recommendations if you are working out, and it can tell that you're working out. You can set it and go in here manually and put like HIIT workout or strength workout, and I do that. I just don't really look at the data that much. One of my favorite features of the Oura Ring is the minor and major signs of stress on your body. This is going to come up when you are going to get sick or you need more rest than usual. There's more stress on your body, and every single time I've had major signs notification pop up on my Oura Ring, I am literally starting to get sick. Every single time I will either have a cold or the flu or whatever, and this just helps you to kind of prepare and lessen the amount of sickness time that you've had. And I've gotten better at this as I've learned more about my body, but now I can kind of take rest when these major signs pop up instead of not knowing and going to work out and stuff and pushing my body into more of a stress state. I now can pull off and rest and start pumping vitamins and supplements and tea and just all of these things into my body to make sure to lessen how long I'm sick for. The next thing that I am obsessed with is the stress levels. I didn't really know that this was a thing when I bought the Oura Ring, but I love checking it at the beginning or the end of the day. Sometimes I check it in the middle just to see where my stress levels are at. It's really cool to see when your stress levels were at a peak and if your body was able to come down from those stress levels. And I love to see a range of how stressful my day was. Like sometimes my days are really stressful and I'll have 4 hours of stress time in the day, and Oura will tell you what you need to do to like combat that stress in your life. It's just really helpful. It gives you tips for your stressful day, and like when you're anxious or something's happening, you can wind down correctly that night. You can meditate, you can do yoga, you can read, like you know when to pull back because your stress levels were too high from that day. 2 of my little fun extra ones that I don't like look at a ton but are just fun are your cardiovascular age. This will basically tell you your age in like your health age. So I am 3.5 years younger in my health than I am in like my real age. I don't know, I just think that's super cool because you can see what you've been doing, if it like pays off or not, and it's just like fun to know. And then the other one is chronotype. I didn't actually know that being a morning person was a genetic thing. Obviously you can change your circadian rhythm a little bit, but we are all genetically made with a certain chronotype, and I am a morning person, which I've known, but what I didn't know is I'm a later morning person. I'm not an early morning person. I tend to get up at 5, but that is not like my chronotype, but I just find it interesting to know my chronotype. The next section is pros and cons, and this one's gonna be fun because I actually put a lot of thought into these. Starting with pros is the advanced sleep tracking and tips on how to improve it. This is the reason that most people get the Oura Ring to begin with, but it is an absolute game changer for your health, your energy, your nervous system, just regulating your entire body. If you're not getting good sleep, it is going to mess with your entire life, and it's just really cool to see the sleep tracking in depth and how you can fix your sleep. The second thing for me is I had an Apple Watch and I hated getting bombarded with notifications. This is a notification-free device. I love that it's just a ring. It's sleek, it's on my fingers, and it doesn't bother me with text messages. Going off of that, I know a lot of people don't care about this, but it has low EMFs when compared to the Apple Watch. So when you're sleeping at night, you can actually like sleep on your ring without worrying about all those EMFs going directly into your brain, whereas the Apple Watch is very high EMF. It's almost like an iPhone. I also love how it's super lightweight and it just looks like a regular ring. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea. I think it looks good. I think the gold looks good. It goes with my other gold jewelry, and it just looks way better than a Apple Watch or other wearables. It has a super long battery life. I can just pop this thing on the charger and it will charge so quickly, and it lasts me for so many days. I never have to worry about charging it every single day. One that I didn't know that I would love is it connects with natural cycles, and this can help to regulate your menstrual cycle. I actually got off birth control right before getting this, and I got my period back within the first month, which was crazy after being on birth control for like 8 years now. I just find it super helpful to see like when my period's coming, red days, green days. You can really get so much information and learn so much about your cycle from natural cycles, and it all measures it all off of your temperature. It's like 99% accurate. It is super cool. The last thing that I love is measuring stress levels. As somebody who's super anxious, I just love seeing how I can better balance my stress and my recovery time. And Oura also gives you a resilience score to show you how like resilient your body is to stress and how you can balance that recovery and stress levels from like a day-to-day basis. Cons is not very long, and it was kind of hard for me to think about, but I thought about it from a perspective of other people who would be getting this ring. And the first con is it has tracking inaccuracies when it comes to working out. If you are somebody who wants this ring for tracking your workouts and tracking your steps and just your overall activity, I honestly would not get it. I would go with more of a Apple Watch or a Garmin or something that better tracks your overall activities. This is just not going to do it for you. I feel like it's way better for all those other things that I listed, and it's better for a baseline activity. But if you're somebody who trains really hard and really want to dive into the different like activity levels and the different things that are measured there, I don't think the Oura Ring is going to be for you. Another one that is kind of a con is it can get scratched really easily. This is kind of a con because you can actually buy protectors, and I have a rubber protector. I got it for like $3 or $5 off of Amazon. It came in a 2-pack. It's just a rubber band that goes around this, and I wear it when I'm working out, and then I take it off for the rest of the day. And my Oura Ring is fine like on a day-to-day like work basis, but I just get nervous lifting weights and doing active stuff. Another one is different colors cost more. The gold is the most expensive, and then they have a tier of the different colors. So if you're somebody like me who is a gold girl, you are definitely going to be spending more money. And my last con, going off of the last one, is you have to pay a subscription for the rest of your life. Oura, you have to pay for the ring itself, which is expensive, and then I think you pay like a $20 a month subscription fee, which is insane in my opinion, but it is an investment, and I honestly have loved this way more than any wearable that I've ever had. I've had an Apple Watch, I've had a Fitbit, I've had a Garmin, and Oura Ring definitely comes on top for me. Okay, this next section is for the girlies and the girlies only. I thought I would talk a little bit about natural cycles in here because it has changed my life so immensely, and I love that Oura Ring just connects so seamlessly with it. It has become my new favorite thing, and I've learned so much about cycle syncing and just tracking my cycle and knowing the different phases. Like, I never knew about this before I had my Oura Ring, so I thought I would just explain it a little bit. So basically you have to pay for natural cycles separately, which is another monthly subscription. I know, expensive, but worth it in my opinion. And basically every single morning it is going to take your temperature, and it's going to tell you if you have a green day, a red day, what phase of your cycle you're in, and when your period is coming. You can see an overall calendar, a month-to-month calendar. You can also track symptoms, bleeding, and just like a ton of different things. Your skin, your sleep, your pain, your symptoms, how you're feeling, and this just keeps track of everything. And I love this because sometimes it'll be like, you were feeling really tired in this certain phase last month. You may want to like rest more, and that just lets me know that I'm just lower on energy because of the phase of cycle that I am in, and that I can pull back a little bit and rest. So like I said, I was on hormonal birth control for 7 to 8 years, and I literally had no period, which is so crazy to say as somebody who is so natural. I can't believe I had it in for so long. Natural cycles really helped me to get my period back the first month after being off of that birth control, and to just start having a regular cycle. And I got to learn so much about my period because I haven't had one for 8 years. The last thing I will say about the Natural Cycles app is it also has a learn section. It gives you guides on different things, quizzes, definitions. It has blogs about birth control and cycle insights, period and bleeding, reproductive health, sex and pleasure, like so many different things. So you can literally use this as a little learning tool. I know I've read a ton of their blogs just to dive deeper into my learning about myself and my cycle and everything. So I just think that's a really cool additional thing that you can have with the Oura Ring. The last section of this is the Oura Ring actually worth it, and who is it worth it for? I think yes, it is definitely worth it, but it will have a caveat for some people for sure. I think personally that the Oura Ring is for somebody who wants to dive deeper into their overall health and their cycle tracking, their sleep, and just like overall wellness, like foundational wellness, how you're feeling on a day-to-day basis, how your body's doing. And it is not for people who want to use this for activities or workouts, as I said, which I do think they market a lot of like, oh, you can track your activity, you can track your workout, which you still can. But if you are somebody who cares so much about that and tracking your workouts through your Apple Watch or your Garmin, or like your runs or your HIIT workouts, or you're training for something, like I said before, I really don't think the Oura Ring is worth it for you. That that is a wrap on my Oura Ring review video. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down below. Do you have an Oura Ring? Are you thinking about getting an Oura Ring? What are some pros and cons that you think about it? I just love to hear your guys' opinions. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe and just leave a comment and say hello. I really appreciate your guys' support.